morning and welcome to We Are Live. We're live at Midcoast Studio in Grand Center, St. Louis, Missouri. Check out midcoast.media for our company and all of its capabilities. I'm here in St. Louis. My name is Chris Denman. I'm joined in over the stream by the man himself, Mr. Travis Terrell. Good morning, Travis.
¿Cómo estás, Mr. Denman? My Spanish is getting better.
Casio
now that
Ortez
I've
there
been
in the
in
room with
Brooklyn
you? You
for
trying to show off?
her fine self. That's a fine woman.
Well,
Liberal.
we'll get into that.
Like her new Green Deal, if you know what I mean.
I don't. The Great American Race is on tap today, but most importantly, we've got a huge, huge annual segment that we do, and it's brought to you by the Stream Queen, Chris Gardner. Good morning, Mr. Gardner.
Good morning, gentleman in St. Louis. Good morning, my revolutionary brother in Brooklyn. And good morning, Walnuts.
Throwing it up for the Walnuts.
Yeah. There we go.
What's this big segment you have worked out? You were tweeting about it last night, Gardner.
Seventh annual MLB Ascot All-Stars.
It's a big
Now,
deal.
Mr. Gardner, for some of our new people who may be joining the show for the first time this year, can you explain to them what is this list of All-Stars?
Okay, so I go through every Major League Baseball team's 40-man rosters. I did so yesterday afternoon. And I find players' names that I think sounds like they could wear an ascot. Now, to give you an example from years past, the Cardinals had one. He was a bench player, but it doesn't matter what their, how good they are. It just matters about their name. Ty Wigington.
That's
was
very Ascot-esque.
Yeah, just has to sound like you can wear an ascot. Think of there's a lacrosse magazine that puts out the all lacrosse team name in college lacrosse every year. I'm sorry, lax for some of those out there.
Okay.
If you go and search that, you'll get an idea of the type of name we're looking for, like last names of Shackelford or Stanwyck. Things along those lines. But what I do is I go through all the MLB teams' 40-man rosters. I then break it down by league, and I then break it down by position and create a team by position with those names for the National League and American League. And I've done so again this year, the 7th consecutive year I've done so. Do it at the All-Star break every year.
Now, did you do that? No,
Now,
Go ahead, Travis.
No, go ahead, Chris. No, I was going to say, have any of you ever worn an ascot before?
I have, yes.
How'd it go?
It was great. It was actually when I first started with you guys.
The Yacht Rock extravaganza.
Yeah, the Yacht Rock show.
I remember that.
That's right.
The mayor of St. Chuck brought one for me.
Oh, wow. What a guy.
And I still have it. So that might be a little bit of a tease for later on. There might be a wardrobe change in the middle of the show.
Oh, wow.
There is a visual element to the show now.
Yeah, so I might have brought something along with me.
Well, I'm proud of you for your hard work, Mr. Gardner, and this. But it'll be interesting to see who makes the cut this year.
Yeah, there's a lot of... If you get on the list, it will be hard to knock you off. But what happens a lot is some of the newer players come in, and also players change leagues. So then you have to slide new names into certain spots because there are. I'll give you one thing this year. I'll tell you this right now. There has been a guy who has traditionally been on the team, a pitcher, J.A. Happ. He is not on the team this year.
Strong.
Wow.
Strong
he got
name.
knocked off this year. And I won't tell you who until we get to it. But J.A. Happ, is not on the team this year.
I'm curious. So last night I was a judge at the Helium Comedy Club semifinals competition. Travis has done it before. We've done it for every year of its existence. For his first year, one Randy Carricker of 101 ESPN was sitting to my left, and we had a quick Chris Gardner chat. Did you pull things like this when you were the producer at 101 ESPN?
Oh yeah,
For the
sometimes.
Fast Lane?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We used to put together some weird stuff. But one of my favorite things we did there was remember when Bo Pelini, the former Nebraska Cornhuskers head coach, had those legendary rants that were caught on tape, a lot of cursing and such. We did
A lot of F-bombs.
yeah, I wrote a little script and we did a Pelini family Christmas, and I still have that somewhere. Or no, it was a Pelini family Thanksgiving. That's what it was. And that was, stuff like that. So yeah,
Sure.
we would. I don't think I was doing. No, I wasn't doing the Ascot All Stars at that point. The Ascot All Stars, actually, it's kind of Jon Stewart inspired a little bit, because I was sitting around drinking with friends one night.
Yeah.
Which
Which park?
I don't know that we were at.
Which
a park.
alley?
I think we were at a friend's parents' house.
Okay.
And so we're sitting around drinking, and someone's telling a story, talking about somebody. And I can't remember the person's name, but then they brought up the fact that Jon Stewart said that person sounds like they could wear an ascot. So that led us down a conversation of creating different teams, like NFL, NHL, that was tough, MLB, all this, trying to come up with different teams and by position of who has a name that sounds like they could wear an ascot. And it led to me doing this now at the All-Star break every year.
Does it
My
link?
question is, do you think you have to have the name in order to wear the ascot, or do you think, like, say, some gentlemen like Chris and I could start to naturally wear the ascot, and people will start to think that a Chris Denman or a Travis Terrell, those are now names that are a part of ascot society?
No, they would just think you're wearing it ironically. They would look at you as
Okay.
a hipster in a way. Oh, they're not of that ilk, so they're wearing it in an ironic way. So that's what I
Okay.
would think. I think, because look, when you look at especially these lacrosse names, you know where these people are coming from. I mean, eventually
A
they're
lot
going
of
to
Dutch heritage?
they're going to be like the Habsburgs.
Okay.
There's going to be, they only mix with their own. There's going to be, it's incestual, and eventually they're going to have conditions that will allow them to, expire their lineage, because that's going to happen when you just mix with your own and don't, you're going to get
I'm curious though.
underbites
We
and
have.
look giant foreheads and yeah.
That's the
Good
whole
luck.
thing, huh?
I'm
Good luck.
curious-
Good luck, Blue Bloods.
I'm curious. But I think one thing we've seen, and it's well documented, is that African Americans can step forward at any point and take over a genre, can
Yeah.
take over a movement, can take over a style. So I'm curious, does the eccentricities of the ascot go
You mean to say
away?
eccentricity?
Should people like myself or Chris begin to frequently wear ascots?
So you're talking about appropriation.
I am. I'm talking about the
Okay.
opportunity to appropriate the ascot lifestyle.
Now, I'm for that. I'm for someone trying to take that away, because, it's rich people when we think of the ascot, right?
Right.
Who cares? I'm a poor person. What do I care? So I'm for that. I don't know how you necessarily accomplish that, but I will tell you this. Black Twitter's pretty creative. I've observed that
Yeah.
as I sit on the fringes, just looking over things, seeing what's going on.
Couldn't Cam Newton pull this off?
Cam Newton most
no
certainly could, but then
No doubt. No doubt.
but like Cam has some really outlandish stuff that he wears. I don't know
Very true.
that traditional, like what he wears, appeals to others. Is
They're
the
just like
thing.
Cam's being Cam.
Yeah. So like Cam is like trying to be him. I don't know if what he does appeals to has that mass appeal. I don't know, because that's what you're. If you're going to appropriate, it has to have mass appeal, right? It can't just be a handful
Right.
of folks. I don't know. It would take more than Cam. Now, could he be the one who starts it off? Yeah, sure. But it's going to take like LeBron did those weird suit. What were those suits he was wearing several years ago? Was that a couple years ago they were wearing them in the postseason where they were like not completely pants or even something like that. Like even that
Yeah,
didn't catch
yeah.
on. Like I didn't see that catching on anywhere.
But here's my question now going forward, because the only reason why rich people wear what they wear is because it's expensive, not because of the style.
Hmm.
So I'm curious if, say, things like ascots and top hats and monocles, if they became affordable
Yeah.
and more people who say are a part of the middle class begin to wear those things, wouldn't that force rich people to change up their wardrobe? Because now
Yeah.
everyone else is wearing it. So I'm curious as to what then would rich people wear if you made certain rich people clothing that are stereotypical to rich people more affordable to everyone else. So say I could start
Maybe
wearing
they would go
ascots.
all
Say
the way
ascots
back.
go on sale. Okay, okay. So
Maybe
you said
they
they would
just
go
would go
back in
back in
time and find
time,
something
like
else.
colonial.
Like they'd
Okay,
take
Like
a ship that they've been hiding and
yeah,
really go back in time.
like well, now that would be something,
Hmm.
and I would then try and
very
fake
possible.
being a
Hmm.
rich person at that point
Got it.
to have that
Exactly.
opportunity.
Makes sense.
But maybe they try and appropriate like steampunk from the hipster
That's
culture
see,
at some
that's what
point.
I'm thinking. See, I'm
Okay.
thinking that if the more we look like rich people, the more crazier they're going to have to go to consider themselves,
Now,
exclusive to us. So they'll look richer. So I'm wondering
right,
if they're going to go back to
but
powder wigs and things like that.
here's the problem, and this is what you have to be able to do. Now you're talking about affordable,
Hmm.
but how they will basically differentiate themselves at that point is there would be, there'd be like a question, like I don't know, shit. There's always controversy about question, like you throw it on a census or something like that.
Hmm.
Right.
What they would look at then is the quality of what you're wearing, like or who made it. Like, is that a Brooks
I
Brothers
see.
ascot? Because if not,
Uh,
then so
Makes sense.
I
Makes
think that's
sense.
how they would do it. Now, is that harder to observe? Most certainly, but people find a way.
They
People
certainly
find
do.
a way to differentiate themselves. People find a way to, you know, show off their tribe more than others.
True.
And that's seems to be nature. But they will find a way to differentiate, and that would be my guess immediately. They would go to the quality. Is it a thick ascot? What is the pattern? Is it a classic, traditional-looking one?
Sure.
Oh, what's
That's fair.
so it would be something along the designs. Like you can't just go ascot, and then Kanye can't put faces of Kanye on an ascot and think it's classy. It's not going to work.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
We certainly have. We're dealing with a lot of quality, and you know who else deals in quality?
Oh, I don't know which one you're going to here.
Gateway powder coating.
Okay.
That's
okay.
right. That's right. You see the beautiful colors behind us. Maybe you want to make one of your beautiful chairs on your patio a nice green. Maybe it needs to be a blue for the Blues Stanley Cup victory. As long as it's metal, and as long as it can be painted, it can be powder coated. That's right. Gateway powder coating, fast, durable, affordable. Great partners of ours. Big shout out to Mark and the gang out at Gateway Powder Coating. You can find them online. Their social media is very active. They show all the great work they do. Find them on Facebook. Drop me a line. I can send you their way. Wonderful people, wonderful, wonderful services at Gateway Powder Coating. Check them out online, gatewaypowdercoat.com. Sponsor of ours here on We Are Live, everybody. Joining, boy, I wanted to
What
rip
kind
him a
of
new
shit
one.
is this?
The intern has sauntered in, and boy, he's picked a handsome shirt to wear. I'll say that. Look at that! What a shirt! I literally have the same shirt. What's
You wear
going
it
on?
about 3 days a week.
Yeah, well, there's always a version of it, and I've
Yeah.
got a version of it on now. Why are you here at 8:16 a.m.?
I just thought it'd be cool to be fashionably late.
No, there's a reason. You're not a guy who just strolls in late. What's going on?
Tommy.
Anything?
Tommy, did you just have Tommy got the sex? Tommy, did you just have the sex?
No. So
Oh,
I was on my way here. I realized I was running out of gas, so I stopped to get gas. I would still be here by like 8:40. I started driving, but I hit a rock. It was like a big rock. This is pulling out of the gas station.
I'm assuming it was probably in the middle of the lane of the street, probably driving down the middle of the road.
No, I was on
Probably
the
how
side
it
of the
happened.
road.
Wait, so it's on the shoulder?
Yeah, so it was on the shoulder of the road, but like close. Like I just missed the. Anyway, I hit
Jeez.
this. It's like one of those like landscaping rocks, so it's really big, right?
Oh, God.
Yeah. And I
Okay.
didn't realize this was what caused it till I was like driving here. But then I was driving, and then I started hearing this dragging sound, like this
Oh God.
sound.
How?
Please don't let it be a homeless person. Please don't let it be a homeless person.
How is it?
It was
Sound?
like, it
Okay.
sounded like plastic dragging.
Mhm.
So I pulled over, and like on the side of my car, like there's like this big piece of plastic that like guards stuff.
Like
You guys-
underneath the car.
Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking. Well, that had come completely. It was almost completely off. I had just been dragging it. I'm glad I didn't get on the highway with that, because it was just.
Honest answers only, Tommy. Honest answers only.
Yeah. Okay.
What episode of Friends were you watching on Netflix when you were driving?
I don't like Friends.
No, I think Friends is appropriate.
But you were.
I wasn't.
But you were watching an episode
No,
of
I was-
what? Rick and Morty.
No.
What were you watching?
I was listening to Last Podcast on Earth.
The video version or the audio?
The audio. Okay?
Okay.
Good
just
question.
checking.
To understand why I hit this rock, you'd have to be at the gas station, but it's in a really bad spot. I also paid $3 for
Okay.
gas,
You upset
which is
by that?
yeah. I have no money now. Anyway, so here I am.
Fine. I'll buy you lunch. You just had to ask.
This is all a ruse
Oh.
just to get a pizza buffet out of the deal.
So I didn't mention this, but the other day,
Makes sense.
Gardner was in my mom's car, which I had to borrow because my car was in the shop.
I
Right?
thought Travis right away would go, wait, Gardner was in Mom's car? What?
No. So Gardner was in my mom's car, and he goes to get out, and he goes to open the door. And would you like to tell him what happened, Gardner?
The door handle came off in my hand.
Jesus Christ.
Well, if you weren't so hulkishly strong.
I
Gardner.
don't know these powers.
He
I
ripped
have.
it right out.
I did not rip it.
I
It
have a
ca-
picture.
no,
Would you like
no,
to
no.
see the picture?
Rip insinuates that I grabbed it and just like yanked it off.
You did.
No. It came off in my hand, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like I used no effort at all, basically, to open the door, and it came off in my hand.
Here's how I know he ripped it is because the door's locked, and I was like, Gardner, you have to pull the lock up. The electric locks don't work. And he's just pulling on it, and I go, Gardner, the
I
locks
wasn't
don't
yanking,
work.
though.
And then it yanks out, and it comes out. He rips
that's
it
a
out.
wrong
That's
description.
not a wrong description. That's exactly what happened.
Just because I may have, in your car,
Also broke
knocked
something.
the dash off in
Yeah.
a way, but I
Guys,
apologized.
I'm having really bad car luck. So that's
That's an unfortunate start to the morning. The black sheep does ask if Eugene showed up to give advice and destroyed your car.
no. Oh, there was another problem. This piece was so long, I couldn't get it in my car. So I had to like maneuver it in.
Who?
Oh no.
Excuse me, what?
What'd you say?
So I had to maneuver something in
Oh
my car.
no.
Keep my name out your mouth.
Oh, I should have known.
Some bitch ass
I should have known. Oh God. I thought she was in summer school. Didn't she have summer camp this year? What happened?
Don't mind your
How
own.
did she? Oh, Maneuver. How did you? Maneuver, how's your summer going?
It'd be a lot better if I hadn't seen you.
Oh, Maneuver, I haven't even
Looking like a
been in
shitty
studio for
driver's
nearly 3
license.
months.
What bum did you steal that shirt from?
Maneuver, I ain't got time for this. We're going to stick to the rundown today. You are not going to ruin this show for us.
You can't spell rundown.
We have a rundown.
Bitch,
Oh, God. Look,
you see the fat one and
Maneuver.
the skinny one wore the same shirt today?
yeah, I noticed that too. I don't know why they dress alike.
Pathetic.
It is pretty pathetic. I'll give you that.
I don't
Maneuver, aren't there some pools or Six Flags? Thank you. Okay, good seeing you, Maneuver.
know. No. I got a scooter waiting on me. Shut up.
Jesus.
All I need to do to become full Chris is get a tattoo on my left arm.
What are you gonna get?
I didn't know you
Opposite.
two were dating. This is kind of weird.
Do you do that with people you date? Do you make them get tattoos like you do?
You guys are matching outfits.
Yeah.
That's kind of an accident.
Yeah.
Well, he put you in a tree like 3 days ago. So that's
It was
right.
like
not what
yeah.
just friends do.
It's like
you
6
you
days
probably
ago.
tapping it in order for you to Yeah, I mean,
Nah.
but you only tapping it. You only do that to people you're tapping.
No, it's like a
And
stepdad relationship.
Hmm.
I call him Dadman.
oh wow,
Dadman. Nice.
have you not seen stepdad adult films lately?
Okay.
Yeesh.
No.
You must be confused with Dadman and Eugene and your actual father.
Mhm.
Well, my actual father, he's got nothing to do with any of this. He knows where he sits.
I think probably the most Hoosier gift I ever gave a girl was a tattoo.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, you purchased
You
a
bought
tattoo
the
for somebody?
tattoo.
Oh, I
for
thought
her.
he gave it to
Oh.
her.
Oh,
Like a-
okay.
Like a jailhouse
Yeah.
I thought you
stick
like.
and poke?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I was thinking like you took a hanger and lit it on fire and went
Oh,
to town.
that's
Yeah.
not for tattoos.
That's not how you do tattoos.
That's called brandy.
Oh, my bad. Oh, my bad.
I've been thinking I'm gonna
Oh,
get a
shoot.
henna tattoo.
A henna?
Yeah,
The one I
it's all the
bought.
way
What's
up my
that?
arm. It's like the fake tattoo, so that I don't have to feel
Can
pain.
you?
No, you
I'm
can't
like,
do that.
I honest to God think sometimes, are you like purposely trying not to ever date again?
No,
It's a fair question.
no.
So why do you say things like that out loud? Why do you say things like, I'm going to get a temporary tattoo?
You guys don't like temporary tattoos?
I'm curious, has a woman ever gone like, oh my God, Tommy, these stories that make you sound incredibly unattractive is turning me on right now. Tell me more.
They don't use those words,
Yeah,
but
why are you
like,
shaking like that?
I get it
Travis?
on the reg, as the kids say.
Excuse me, on the reg, Tommy.
Yeah.
When was the last time you got some reg?
Look.
And tell her her
When was
name.
the
Tell
last
us
time
her
you got
or
some
his
reg?
name.
Oh, he's getting using deflection as a defense.
No,
method.
I'm just meaning he smoked on. Anyway, I'm fine. I got it going on. All right.
Can you flip that off? Can you flip that off
That was
audio?
even the hand movements. I got it going on. Okay.
She goes to the other podcast.
I have met Rob Lowe. All right.
Oh, you're gonna meet someone else soon.
Oh yeah. I'm meeting C. Thomas Howell.
See Thomas Howell.
The star.
I'm having
of,
dinner with him.
Of the star of that movie that was filmed here, or no?
No.
No.
He's
dang it. That
see
was
Thomas
John-
Howell. He was in that
He's
movie
Pony
Black
Boy.
Like Me, right?
He's Pony Boy in Outsiders.
So why are you having dinner with him?
So they're okay. So the guy from House of Pain, the hip hop group. I didn't tell you this, Gardner.
No, you didn't.
The guy from the house.
Travis's face just went. What the hell's happening?
It was like whenever the dog's confused, like what are you doing?
So, of
there? I
course,
made
yeah.
the same movement with my
You're
hand.
having dinner with C. Thomas Howell, and of course,
So, the guy-
House of Pain is involved.
The guy who
As you do.
Danny Boy from House of Pain bought the house from the Outsiders, right? Okay, and he restored it because it was run down and it was falling apart. So he bought it, he restored it because he thinks it's important to have around because it's like a good movie for everybody. And so he's doing a ribbon cutting ceremony, and C. Thomas Howell will be there.
Will
and
you
then-
jump around at this house?
I already told you I'm gonna get a picture with him, but jumping up and down.
Okay, good.
So what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so me and C. Thomas Howell and Danny Boy will all have dinner together.
Well, there's going to be other people there too.
My father will be there. Yes.
Who else?
I don't know. Whoever else buys
A
tickets.
group? Okay.
Yeah, and then
Where is the house?
It's in Oklahoma, Tulsa,
Okay.
and then we get to do a bus tour with C. Thomas Howell.
Now, why is he Thomas Howell a thing? Why is this happening?
He's. What do you mean? Why is this
But
happening?
just because he's Pony
Like
Boy.
why?
He's the main character in the movie that the house represents. So probably that
Oh, I
reason.
see. Okay.
So
So
now
you're gonna
Also-
show up to? Are you gonna show up in blackface?
why would I do that?
He was in Soul Man.
Okay. I also on this trip we're thinking about driving down to New Mexico to visit Patrick Swayze's ranch. That way we would have had a
Oh,
because
include.
we can't meet Patrick Swayze anymore because we've met two of the three Curtis boys.
oh, I don't know. Have you seen Ghost?
I have.
I'm gonna say.
Not-
Aren't you going on a paranormal trip here soon anyway?
Yeah. Oh, I gotta talk to Gardner about that afterwards. My dad can't go with me, so I might bring Gardner Bigfooting with me.
I don't get this show anymore.
That's odd.
Don't worry, tomorrow's my last
I
day
just
on
got
air,
I
so
just
you're
got
good.
so nervous and
You want to
like.
go to the Marion Bigfoot conference with me,
Hold on,
Gardner?
let's talk. Let's
Okay.
talk
Jesus
later because I
Christ.
can't
Sorry,
process.
I
all that
derailed
right
this
now.
entire thing.
No, C. Thomas Howell though, the movie Side Out. He played Monroe Douglas, a beach volleyball movie. You guys ever see that one?
No.
Oh, I love that.
No.
Tell
movie.
him who you were most excited for when you heard
Well,
about this.
he was the Reaper in Criminal Minds.
he was.
That's not a spoiler, I guess. Is it?
No, it's
He
not.
was.
point.
He was a very popular serial killer in Criminal Minds. He killed a
I
few people.
Hated him.
Yeah.
He killed a few important people.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
He changed the entire show.
So he's still.
And he's still in the show.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a thing.
Well, so see Thomas Howell dinner. We'll look forward to that.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Yeah.
And do you want me to mention anything to the guy from House of Pain? Do you guys want me to ask him any questions?
Ask him in the vein of me asking Lenny Dykstra about Boy Meets World and his association with that. Ask them how they felt about Mrs. Doubtfire having a seminal moment in the movie with their song.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do that.
Say what movie soundtrack that you're obviously that song's probably been played in 9 million TV shows and movies, right?
Yeah.
Pretty iconic
Jump
song.
around.
Just
Yeah.
say, which movie are you happy your song made it into, and why is it Mrs.
Let's
Doubtfire?
Let's look up what movies that song is in, and ask them, or ask Danny Boy, which of those movies is his favorite.
I can
How
do
about that?
Travis, did you wake up sad or something? Because you look real depressed.
No, he was great till about 6.5 minutes ago.
Thank you, Chris.
I'm going to go see the Aquabat.
It literally took a matter of minutes before we started talking about C. Thomas Howell and some weird dinner for schmucks that you've been invited to. And
I'm excited, man.
Tommy, I just want the best for you. Honestly, I do. I just want you to find a lovely lady to settle down with
Why does
that
he
can
need
take
that?
care of your heart
Yeah, I don't need
physically and
that.
emotionally.
I'm a good
He
You
has
writer.
to
do.
meet a doctor.
You really do. You need to meet something because you have people
Already met
frequently
him,
hitting on your
bro.
mom. You rob from your grandmother. You get a boner at the sight of Rob Lowe. These things do
Okay,
not
man.
make you appealing to other strangers, and I
Okay.
just want better for you.
I think.
Gardner, what'd you text my grandpa?
Yeah,
the
I
other
might
day?
have been an accessory in one of their deals the other day and not
Oh
realizing it
Jesus
until after
Christ,
the fact.
Chris!
I like
Oh
it was.
Gardner, did you buy a plate?
No, I didn't buy a plate, but Tommy told me to text a number to somebody. I didn't, and handed me his phone, and I just was. He's dictating the
He
number
sent
to
me the tracking. He sent the tracking numbers for the dishes I
Jesus.
sold.
Do they
my
respond in
grandma.
Mandarin?
I don't know. I just, and then I'm like, so what was that for? Oh, it's a tracking. And I was like, is this for those damn plates? And he's like, well,
No.
kind of.
It wasn't for a plate. It was for a sculpture.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm now an accessory in whatever scheme they're running here now.
Oh,
Elder
that's
abuse.
awesome, Gardner.
Oh goodness. Well, the show is
Sorry.
is off and moving, and it's off and moving because of our friends at Getaway Carts. That's right. Customize without limits is what you say. It's their their slogan, getawaycarts.com, and they support the carte blanche movement. Don't forget, if you're looking for a golf cart in the St. Louis area, Getaway Carts is where you take it. Gardner, we have issues with potholes in St. Louis, right?
Yeah.
I dodge many throughout the day.
Yeah.
Kansas City man is a hero. Did you see this?
I did.
We have a guy who threw a birthday party for a 3-month-old pothole in Kansas City. I used to live in the neighborhood in which he did this. Waldo. Very nice. Looks familiar. Got himself a cake.
What he needs to do is fix all these potholes in St. Louis.
Can we get birthday guy? Can we get my old neighbor to come throw a party for an entire stretch of road through the St. Louis city?
Look, I don't know who is a part of the committee for Times Person of the Year,
Yeah.
but I would like this individual to at least be nominated because this is brilliant. And I think every human being, no matter where you reside on the side of the aisle, no matter your political dogmas, I think you can absolutely relate to this individual here and the steps he took in order to finally get the city to fix that pothole. And they did. They subsequently came out immediately after that photo went viral. And as Chris pointed out, it was in Kansas City. So I even had a bunch of Kansas City friends hit me up because I had retweeted it in both Twitter and Facebook. And they were like, yeah, that's literally down the street from me. This guy's been doing this for years. He's been trying to get this to go viral, finally get some attention. And he ended up getting it taken care of, I think, like 24 hours after the picture went up on the internet.
nice.
And I think it's brilliant. Look, we complain about St. Louis potholes till we're blue in the face, and they finally fixed the Compton Bridge, less than a month and a half ago. So I think if every St. Louisan were to just take the time, I know that it can cost money, but we spend $3, $4 a day on coffee. If folks are to just go out and get a small cupcake and a candle, find the pothole that gives them the biggest pain in their ass, put it down on the inside the pothole, take a picture, send it on. I think that would be the best way to solve it. Imagine a city of cupcakes everywhere. We would solve hunger
I would.
and
Oh,
fix
so good.
potholes.
Do we like this method better than the guy spray painting dongs on potholes
Oh.
No.
to get them taken care
Both
of?
work.
Have you
Okay.
seen
Both
that?
work.
Well, I would say choose your method. Like we're
Yeah.
all looking for the same conclusion, right? We can get creative
Yep.
in figuring out our
Cupcakes
method.
and or dongs.
Yeah, why not do both?
Mm-hmm.
But we
Yep.
could probably try and come up
Dong cakes.
with our own as well.
What was
Ding
that?
dongs.
Ding.
I like Travis's a little better. Tommy's was on the nose, but Travis Travis put some Terrellism on that one. What do we call them?
Dong cakes.
Dong
Dong
cakes.
cakes.
I'm a mathemologist. Mathemologist,
Thank
that's
you.
the term. Cow
What you got there,
house.
dong
What are those
cakes?
things called? Barns?
Dong cakes. That sounds like something you would call someone. What you into,
No,
dong
I think-
cakes?
I think here's a way, and we can have a lot of fun with this. I think like everyone has something that just triggers them. And whatever it is, put it inside the pothole. If you are not a fan of Megan Rapinoe, put a photo of her in a pothole.
Nice. Put
If
Kaepernick
you
kneeling
don't
over
care
one.
for, yep. If you I don't like seeing Kaepernick kneel, put it over a pothole. It'll get fixed. Just things that you do not like, put it inside the pothole, and people will ultimately take care of it. I think this man has started a movement. I want this to be the next fuck the bottle challenge. Let this cup dong cake pothole challenge. Is that a good for a hashtag? Can we get that?
Dong cake pothole challenge. Okay.
Does anybody know?
Hold on, I'm looking off into the distance into my New York friends. Can I do? What do you guys think?
Anybody have a
They
pothole
agree.
big enough I could put
They agree.
Travis in?
Travis? Would you use Travis's face, his amorous face that he was making backstage at the pageant? You know what I'm talking about?
I
Have you seen the
don't.
Travis meme?
No.
Ooh, biting his lip. No, not that one. That looked like you were in the. You were. Where did he go in Get Out?
That's the face you made. Never mind.
Where do you
Oh,
go
yeah.
and
Your
Get
mom
Out?
knows
The
that
bad
face.
place. Oh no!
Oh, no.
Damn it, Travis.
Tommy will put a
Sorry.
picture of Eugene in a pothole.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm.
Never again.
So is that your
my
sister?
mom's standards
That's what
are
it's gonna
higher
say
than
in the
you.
mouth. Okay. She was flattered by a tow truck driver, so I would hold your horses there, my friend.
Sounded like she was appalled.
She wasn't appalled. She was like, was he hitting on me?
Why was she?
I feel like that's how
Oh,
she said
there
it.
he is.
Damn.
Those
used
are
to be-
hungry eyes,
I used-
my friend. That's
I used to be in shape
Hungry eyes.
many, many moons ago.
oh.
You look like a zombie from The Walking Dead.
Oh man, if the zombie wanted to bang Adam Carolla,
Yeah. Hey, what was that face you were making a little bit
Shut
earlier,
up.
Travis? What was that face you were making a little? No, not that one. The one that's
Okay.
top. The one my mom makes. What was that? Did you make that to Adam Carolla too?
oh man, I sure hope not. Oh man, what's happening here?
We were talking about potholes.
Surprisingly.
That's where he is. How do you guys feel about this? I mentioned it briefly. Randy Carricker judged Stacey Static from the Static podcast from right here at Midcoast. Judged Kevin Johnson from the Post-Dispatch. How do you guys feel about situations like this where you're judging others in a somewhat important competition thing? I felt a
Somebody's
little
bragging.
bit weird.
Somebody. Are you bragging?
I
No.
was gonna ask, but you kind of just brought it back up, and I think I speak for talented people when I ask this question.
What?
Why did you, of all people, feel confident in judging comedians?
I've done it for 4 years. I think the track record speaks for itself. The first 3 winners, all very, very deserving of this. So,
And friends of yours, sure, absolutely.
Tina Deball, Rafe Williams, and Nathan Orton, those bums.
Yeah,
hang out with
that's
them
interesting.
or find them.
That's
extremely
interesting.
funny.
They have those 3 individuals appeared a lot on any of our shows in the past.
I don't know which 7 appearances for each of them you're talking about.
And
Oh.
haven't you done their podcast or some of their shows and events for them several times as well?
No,
Yeah,
because he doesn't do stuff.
being obviously very aggressive in your
I'm
pursuit
not
of
being aggressive. I'm
information
just
here.
curious. I
Sir,
just think this
stand
is
back.
interesting
Stand
that
back.
they
You're
keep
making a
inviting you
threatening
back.
move.
Okay.
How was it
Did you
last
see that? He made a threatening
I
move
saw.
towards me. Yeah,
I was
life-threatening.
at the Galleria last night, and that was the place to be. Like all of the cool people were there. Let me tell you,
I'm sure.
all of the cool people.
Why didn't you pop down to the contest?
I was.
Hmm.
I was there.
Hmm.
I left before it started because I didn't want to watch, but I was there. Nathan Orton asked me if I wanted to get on the fast track to diabetes
Oh, good.
when he saw me at Annie Ann's. So
Always,
I was
always judging.
I was buying
always vigilant.
I was in the middle of buying a pretzel, and Nathan walks up and he goes, "You want to get on the fast track to diabetes?" And the guy who was at the register just went, like it was the 9th time he'd heard that today.
Man, just trying to have a pretzel, and Nathan's gonna tell you you're on your way to diabetes.
No, I would feel comfortable at judging my peers. So I don't know how that felt for you.
Well, when you've shown
But-
up, you've been a judge at this in the past.
And he's not one of their peers. Crazy, right?
Well, that's the point I was getting to. I'm curious, why not say, someone funny, or maybe judge funny people? I'm curious as to the decision that went behind them choosing you. I get Kevin Johnson. He's a reputable journalist in the city of St. Louis. Stacy, of course, actually has a following and a successful podcast. But you, Chris Stedman.
What about
who
Randy Carricker? What do you have to
has-
say
I mean,
about
he's
Randy?
funnier than you, Travis.
What do you have to say about Randy?
Well, Randy Carricker, he's only been a media staple in the city of St. Louis for the last 3 decades.
I
But
love
you,
talking
Chris
to him.
Stedman.
I almost recorded us just chatting. I was like, "This would be a great podcast."
One of my
Randy.
golf buddies.
Oh, get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead.
Nice.
You were ripping me a new
But I
one.
was just curious, no, I wasn't ripping you a new one. Like, for example, I'm what people call talented. Tommy is
What people in
talented.
particular?
Gardner
Thank you.
is talented. So
You
I'm
guys friends
curious, what group of people
No.
or what individual came up to you and said, "Hey, Chris Dimon, you're talented," and what did they say you were talented at?
Oh, Nathan Orton, whenever he called me out, he said, the extremely talented and one of my great friends, Chris Denman, is a judge from We Are Live. He
he
said
really?
the anchor of We Are Live, Chris Denman.
Just did a line of blow. Okay, on my mama's dining room.
What? What's
Tell me
that
I'm
one?
not talented.
Why have I keep hearing new ones of these?
You come up with that on the fly. You're supposed to be good at jazz.
I
And
really,
I just came up with that on nothing.
I wouldn't mind to have black neighbors.
That's a lie.
I really do want to see what Chris's notes were, though. Like,
Great.
What were
Killed
your
it.
notes, Chris?
blonde girl, hot, 10 out of 10,
Killed it. Made me
but
laugh.
only a 4 out of 10 funny.
There were, there
Guy in
not too
leather
many notes.
vest.
Not too many notes.
He's fine.
Yeah.
How many
he's
black
not as
comedians
cool as
did you
me.
send through the next round, Chris?
He's cutting out. Is his mic off?
How many
Did you
black
mute him?
comedians did you send through the?
Did you mute him? I can't hear him.
No.
How
Is
many
it,
He can hear me.
comedians?
He knows
Chris?
you can hear
There's
me.
no.
How many
There
black
must
How
be
many black
disconnect.
comedians?
New York sounds
How
Hold
many
on,
black
hold on.
comedians
Everyone
did-
stop talking.
Oh, this is interesting.
Okay.
What's interesting? I can't hear him.
You can't hear him.
No, I can't hear him.
Oh, then if you can't hear me, then you won't hear this. JPD, if you listen,
Hey,
baby girl.
hey!
I
It's
just
back.
want to.
It's back.
Oh,
It's
wow,
back.
sounds about
Hey,
that.
Chris, I got a
Oh.
quick question.
It's back. There
how
were
many-
no black comedians performing last night. You show me a city. Prove it through numbers, mister. Like St. Louis has a large black population.
Jovan
of which-
Bibbs,
of which-
did he fall asleep last night? Was he not available for this
Well, you
contest?
do have to sign up for the contest, so I wouldn't think he would sign up for it.
I judged one
Okay.
year.
Do we know who went through?
Yes, your Hispanic Granite City brethren,
Good.
Ronaldo.
Good job, Ronaldo.
He was very funny. He's just like 20, and he's funny.
Granite City, a hotbed of comedy.
Yeah, big time.
Don't say that out loud.
I love Ronaldo, but he's getting more work than me right now, and I'm
Oh,
shaking
there it
in my
is.
boots.
There you would
I'm
really.
so jealous of my best friend.
Max Price. Max Price had a great set. That was
divas.
wonderful. He did a wonderful job. Will O'Donnell, who we love, made it through. And I'm not trying to be rude, but a Spencer guy who I've never seen before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that too made it through. And then there were 2 or 3 comics that I was like, ugh, I'd be real mad if I didn't make it through. after they did really well. It was a great show, top to bottom, but contests are weird, definitely. So yeah, there you
Well,
go.
especially when your friends are in it.
Ronaldo, he's doing really well. So
Yeah, did a
I'm
great
proud
job.
of him.
So-
Will's really funny. All those people are funny. They all deserve it. I can't.
Tommy, you sound a little bit jealous.
Yeah.
In
say
2
there's-
weeks, on the 22nd, I will be performing in my semifinal round at the Funny Bone. Please come out and help me.
The one
It's
you
a hard
barely
round.
made. You barely made that round,
See what
right?
happens when you lay in bed with him for a little bit, and then when you're laying in bed
What?
with him, you're
I'm
close
just
to.
saying.
You remember when I walked off the
He
show
doesn't
yesterday?
cuddle. He doesn't cuddle.
I'll do that again.
He's not a cuddler. Mm-mm.
Tommy, do you want me to write some of your jokes?
They have to all bash white people though.
Tommy, I can help you. Tommy, there's nothing wrong to ask for professional help. Do you want me to help you write jokes?
He's
Travis,
chess, not checkers. Tommy.
I'm
Tommy.
way funnier than
Chess,
you.
not checkers. Chess, not checkers.
Tommy, I'm asking though, if do you want real help? Like I've heard your jokes. I've heard your jokes. They're adorable. They're getting there. They're getting better. But I mean, I don't. You know my credentials, right?
You're gonna
Tommy,
kill him,
I can
Travis.
help.
My bucket list to make my own Blake Griffins. I just want to make a plethora of Blake Griffins. I think black redheaded children are fun.
Stuff like that.
So
Why are they
you
fun?
want that? You want that exactly? You want that in your set? You can have it. I'll
Motherfucker,
sell it
I'm
to you.
funnier than you anytime.
No, he took it. He
man,
took
he
the
took
bait.
it. He's
God.
legitimately mad now.
Oh.
He's legitimately mad.
Too
Tommy, you're not
long.
even funnier than your best friend Ronaldo. He's already moved on to St. Louis.
Tommy, why?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I mean, you got guys like Will O'Donnell already passing you up. So I'm saying, how often are you going to sit by and watch other comedians in St. Louis pass you by? Why not ask for help?
Okay, now Tommy, this is where you have to find your way out.
You're
That's
in the
what-
upside down
yeah.
right now.
No, I'm curious. No, I know other comedians
How do you
from
get off
St.
the
Louis
hook?
that are your age. So I know, like, Cameron Keys. Cameron Keys is actually traveling across the country. He's in New York. He's in Atlanta and in LA. He's your same age, and he's already out here doing major shows with Cedric the Entertainer and Dave Chappelle. So I'm curious, since you two are the same age, Cameron asked for
Are
my
you
help, and
curious?
look where he is.
Are you curious?
I'm curious. How can I help? How can I help you, Tommy? Let
No,
me
that's
be a
fake.
resource for you,
That's fake.
Tommy.
This is,
Let me help you, Tommy.
this is woke bully. This is woke bully, Travis.
Not at all. Look,
No,
Tommy.
you're disingenuous. You're being disingenuous.
Tommy,
Catching
if
a
you
rare
want
Pokemon.
collaborators, okay. Look, you can
Catching
catch all the
a
Pokemon
lineage.
you want. You won't catch more sets. You won't catch more tour dates. You won't catch more women. You won't catch more talent. How are you going to expect to get an agent if you don't have somebody helping you get
By
to where you
quitting
want to
a
go?
morning show. That's why I quit.
Okay.
So wait, so you're quitting now?
Well, Travis will do that.
He's
to
angry.
people.
Okay.
Yeah.
He'll run
He's
him off.
angry. He's mad. I understand Look, I understand he's upset. He's trying to figure out how does he move on in his career. And there's this African American gentleman. See, he grew up in Granite City, so he's been told to not trust my people.
Hey,
And so
Tommy,
I'm trying to help
at
him
this
out.
point-
I'm done. I'm not
You
gonna.
can call him a
respond to
motherfucker now.
I already have.
Oh,
Don't subscribe
No.
to the
Don't be some fucking woke bully and then try and paint entire groups of people like that shit. You know that's
And also-
so fucking bullshit.
Also, we have brooding explosion.
And
over
I
here
had to
left.
help Tommy out here, okay?
And also, who wants to take how to respond to thing advice from Chris Gardner? Oh my God, this is the most terrifying thing I've ever
I just
seen
caught
in
a
my
legendary Pokemon.
life. And
There,
that's,
that's good,
cool.
Tommy.
And that's why
Disengage.
I'm mad.
Cameron
Disengage.
Keys has got another major set in another major city. So
Here, hey,
Ronaldo
Tommy.
just moved on to another
Tommy,
round.
Tommy, it's all right. I'm going to show you a little video here. This is who's trying to give you advice, okay?
All right.
Do you agree that you smoke? Do you agree that you smoke pot?
Oh, right then.
Sorry.
And show's over.
Keep going. Drop these in randomly.
Oh.
You know what? I'm not some schmo here.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Dr. Phil. We have a friend by the name of Matt. He's a media outlaws.
I was drinking one of those metal
Innocent
straws. What are you
video
talking
himself.
about?
Whoa. Hold on 1 second. No one saw that besides me.
What?
No, I was
What happened?
Tommy, that shirt.
Travis,
The great
What?
shirt, right?
what's he doing? Did
My
you see
cowboy
him turn
shirt.
his head?
Was he talking to somebody?
What?
No.
No, I'm doing nothing. I don't know what Gardner
No,
is talking
Travis,
about.
do what you just did right now. Do it.
I don't know what you're talking about, Gardner. I
No,
think Gardner's lost his
put
mind. I
it
think
back
he's
in your
gone
mouth.
crazy, guys.
Put it
I
back in
think
your
Gardner
mouth.
has completely gone crazy. Have we guys checked on Gardner's medication?
What did you
Has he
Do
do?
you
lost his
agree that you smoke
marbles?
pot?
That's
That
happening
is
right
that
now.
is that is not happening right now at
Wait, did you
all.
just do that? Hey, the shirt Denman's wearing in that video is the same one I'm wearing now.
Mine, that one has pineapple trees.
Oh,
not,
okay.
not to not yes and you, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yes, and.
That was yesterday's show.
It certainly was. You can go back and watch that or download it on iTunes.
I just feel bad for Tommy. Tommy, and I understand why you're in Pokemon Go. I get it now. I get it. And if you're afraid to take that next step in your career, I understand that too. You're young. Look, Meredith is going to continue to date hotter comedians. Like other female comedians are going to date hotter comedians because they're better and they're funnier. So if you're fine with being in the corner, lonely, stuck in trees, waiting for Chris Dimon to pick you up every 3 days, then fine, go with it. But I mean, look,
There we
hey,
go.
fine with me. I meet with professionals. I'm meeting with an agent on Monday. Maybe you've heard of him. I'm meeting with studios.
Bringing him coffee
So-
does
You
not
didn't
mean
say
that,
his
yeah.
name. You just said maybe
So,
you've
I'm not
heard
gonna
of
give
him.
away.
Obviously, I haven't because you didn't name a name.
Agents, man. You just gotta know them.
I like that move,
Tommy,
though. Maybe you've heard of him.
Don't let this pride look, Tommy, and what's happening right now is that Gardner and Chris, they're keeping you from your blessing. Like they're you see what they're telling you to do is put your pride up before opportunity. And right now, I know that deep down inside that you may hate me, but you know I'm right. You know you're gonna need help. And so why not lean on someone like me to help you? What's wrong? I will be your mentor. All you have to say is Travis,
You're a
please,
loser.
can you be my mentor? All right?
In
You
every
literally
other
have
aspect of your
shits.
life, you're a
You
loser.
literally
Oh,
have
no.
shits of plastic underneath your car. You literally drive in the middle of the lane while watching Hulu. You
What does
have
that have
no
to do with
women.
my
You
talent?
get nothing on the reg.
What does that have to
Women
do with
are
my talent?
embarrassed to go
No,
out on
connect the
dates with
two.
you.
Connect the
I'm
two.
connecting you to you.
No,
Let
you're
me
not.
see. Tommy's comedic career, women not wanting to be with you. Look, there's a point where you're going to have to realize that you're the common denominator and that you're keeping yourself from finally achieving your goals. And I'm trying to be that vessel to carry you through. And because of your relationship with Gardner and Chris, you're preventing that from happening. Stop listening to people who aren't talented and listening to someone who is actually successful,
Did you
who
call me
actually has
talented
been
5
there.
minutes ago?
Yeah, he's not.
Listen
If he
to
was a
me.
motivational speaker, he'd be Tony Slobbins. Like what? Like
Here's the
what's-
thing. It doesn't matter what he's saying right now as long as he says it in a certain tone
Yeah,
and certain
exactly.
rhythm. That's all that really matters.
Yep, that's where he's at. We've got
Tommy,
the Great
let
American
me
Race.
help you. Okay,
All right, you ready for the Great American Race?
Tommy, yes or no? Do you
Let's get
accept
it on.
Travis's offer
I'm
of,
not
of
gonna
mentorship?
talk. I don't care about him. He's not cool. He's not funny. He's not talented. He doesn't matter.
Oh man,
He,
the Great American Race up now. Gardner, what do we have?
No open is one thing.
Travis, can you whistle the Pledge of Allegiance for this or something?
it's time for the Great American Race.
How does this work, Gardner?
We have the scoreboard up there. You see there. It's at 850 for both of you. I think we're going to go back to where
does Travis lose points
loses.
because he's a dick?
No, no. I have to be non-biased
That's a fair
here.
question.
But I'm knocking 50 points off Travis because of systematic racism, because the scoring we use is a credit score. So you start with
This
850.
is also true.
So Travis starts at 800 because of systematic racism. You each have a story or something to provide that is supposed to make the other's culture look bad in a way. Not terrible,
Amen.
terrible bad. Like, we try to stay away from, murder, unless it's a really funny death. Then, maybe that's okay then. Like a Darwinism takes hold type deal. But we try to stay away from that. But so each of you have your stories, and then I decide, as you provide the details of those stories, what your score should be. and I'll do it throughout. I'll adjust the scores throughout your discussion. And at the end of the month, we'll see who has the higher score. We do it once per week.
Okay.
And that'll be the winner of the Great American Race for that month. We kind of blew it last week. We had, or not last week, but last month, just because we had some stuff going on. But we did not have a winner last month, we'll say.
Okay.
So let's start with Chris today. Chris will start with his story for the Great American Race.
Travis, you could say basketball was perfected by white folks. The good doctor, Naismith. Familiar with him?
Good start.
I am. Yeah, very good. Yeah, this is a good
Very
start.
wholesome, humble beginnings. Peach baskets, right? A guy with the doctor.
Right.
Yeah. We've got a story. It's very, very upsetting, and he's blown it again. Lamar Odom, familiar with him? Star of
I
Rhode
am.
Island?
He is a world-class NBA All-Star.
But he also starred at the University of Rhode Island. Never, ever forget that. They've never been relevant since, and that. But Lamar Odom got back into basketball, and he's already been kicked out of the Big Three. This is super embarrassing. This is super embarrassing for you.
He literally just started last week. He literally started 5 days ago.
And he's gone. He is out of the league already. Nervous about being embarrassed on the court, and he wasn't prepared to compete with his fellow ex-NBA hoopers. The Big Three, if you guys don't know, it's kind of a senior circuit for former professional basketball players. And it's more show than it is necessarily massive, crazy competition. But it's fun. It's meant to be an all-star-ish type league. And Lamar Odom already gone. So, Travis, you and your people put him on a pedestal.
Does it say why he's gone?
He didn't want to embarrass himself. He was not ready to play. So he came unprepared. And
Is that why Travis went to New York, too? He didn't
Why?
want to embarrass himself here?
Yeah, St. Louis is the mecca of entertainment, as we all know. And this is a statement from them as the premier professional 3-on-3 league in the world. We are always striving to improve the quality of both the live and broadcast experience for our fans, as well as the level of competition. Statement read, and Odom had barely played for the enemy's team as he had 2 points and 4 rebounds on the entire season.
This is an interesting story. This is an interesting story on several fronts because, as we know, Lamar has been dealing with addiction and mental issues. So it's interesting that you would choose a story about a black man dealing with these issues who admits to his employers and those around him that he wasn't physically ready, probably wasn't mentally ready. But yeah, sure, let's make fun of a guy who is struggling to get his life together, who's had multiple heart attacks, who was almost on his deathbed, a guy that was in a coma for nearly a month. Yeah, let's take the time to bring him down because he wasn't ready to play in 3-on-3 basketball league. No, please, Chris, go on. Tell us more about how people with mental and addiction issues have problems getting their life together.
You took the bait because this is on the culture as a whole. Who was there to step up for him to tell him, don't do this, don't embarrass yourself? No, it was your culture that was greedy and wanted him there to showcase him for his talents and use him for his
probably
name.
Ice Cube, who recognized that maybe Lamar wasn't ready, didn't want to put him in a situation that he was prepared for, so he wouldn't embarrass himself. So a black man stepped up and made sure that he didn't embarrass himself for his legacy. And to leave it to Chris, leave it to someone from Farmington. Leave it to someone whose last few girlfriends have been white. Leave it to someone who loves being white, who wakes up every morning and says he loves being white. Leave it to someone who wears the shirts that you wear. Yeah, we haven't. Don't lie for him. You don't have to do that. That's okay. I see you're happy to put little boys into trees, but you're attacking Lamar Odom now? Yeah. This is interesting.
Lamar Odom could have put him up on like a way taller branch too, to be fair.
That's also very true.
I'm not a little boy. I'm an adult.
So I guess it's went over Travis's head a bit, but the black folks in charge did not do Mr. Odom any favors, and they set him up for embarrassment. And you know what? It's now being publicized by many different black publications clowning on him and going after that. So I don't know. I mean, if you don't want to take responsibility for the actions of your culture, sure, that's fine.
I mean, hey, man, if it's sport around here to start making fun of people with addiction and mental illness, then I guess Chris is going to win this contest because, especially like if I was a scorer of this, story, I would recognize that this is kind of an embarrassment to my own people.
Hmm.
Because why would you attack someone with addiction? We don't know their story. We don't know what they're going through. So I think if you are scoring this competition, if you are deducting points from me because another white man's making fun of an African American's addiction to depression, then I think, that says something about you, the scorer. But that's just me. Do whatever makes you feel comfortable, and apparently making fun of people who are less fortunate is the way to go for this game.
I'm a professional judge, as we discussed earlier, and I'm not going to tell Gardner how to do his job. So, Gardner,
No, not at all. You shouldn't.
just like
Gardner's
you should
doing
be
a
able to
great
smoke,
job of
just like you should be able to smoke
humiliating
inside,
people.
Gardner. You
Oh.
you take your own choices here.
I've knocked 30 points off of Travis so far. I'm going to take
Lamar
10 more.
Odom was a persecuted smoker. That guy used to smoke a ton of crack, and here's Gardner. And now I guess that particular persecuted smoker is different from his persecuted smoker. It's interesting. That's cool. I mean, I understand the fine line. You guys like moving goalposts, but it's interesting. I would imagine someone
That's one
like
of his
Gardner,
favorite
It's
terms.
funny.
who's gone through
My favorite
a lot
part-
of things that he's gone through in his life. You would think Gardner could relate to Lamar Odom. I guess he
My
can't.
favorite part is when you pander Travis, and then when you don't get your way, you throw the fit right away.
Yeah, that's
like the
not
switch
just a character.
flips just like that.
That's
Not
not just a
true.
character play in a stupid segment on a
No.
show. That's who he is.
It's so much. I'm gonna. I've only knocked 30 points off. Remember, you started with 800. I'm gonna knock 10 more points off though, to benefit Chris because he did get a James Naismith reference in there. So I'm gonna give him.
Oh,
10
for the
points
love of God, are
yeah.
you kidding?
That pandering did work.
Unbelievable.
Rock chalk, Mr. Gardner.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. See. So.
Oh, come on.
That felt real dirty coming out of my mouth.
Well,
I bet
no,
it did.
that was unnecessary pandering. So Travis gets 10 more points.
Come
after
on!
that. Yeah. You don't get to say I did it and then take it back.
And then say how bad it hurt.
Yeah. Now, Travis, what do you have?
I have video. That's
Oh.
all I have, my friend. And I think the video will speak for itself. Roll that beautiful bean footage when you have a chance, Mr. Gardner.
Now we have the pulse variation.
Nightclub. Is that Elaine from Seinfeld?
And
an
now the
outtake?
swivel pulse.
This is an outtake from Stranger Things too.
Followed by funky isolation.
Oh, I got that one. Keep it tight. Can't do the feet thing.
Those are the people at the party emulating the people that did a bunch of blow and dancing, and they weren't cool enough to get invited to the blow
And
table,
finally,
right?
the dance off.
Oh.
The dance off.
Oh no!
Careful with those shoulders, Karen.
Oh, what's that?
Travis, why are you making us watch this?
Oh my God! Where did you find that?
I have to, of course, give credit where credit is due. Black Twitter doing their job, going through, mining through the internet, finding situations where, look, and I've said this before on this show, I get why white people appropriate culture because you lack it yourself. So you have to jump on other cultures because of what your culture lacks. And this is just another example of what you guys go through every day. And I get now why you guys get so angry with not being able to say the N-word. I get why you guys get so angry when athletes celebrate in the end zone. Like, I understand, like, when you see something that black people do and do very well, it's in your soul to want to try to do it too. And it brings me great joy watching you struggle to keep up and things like, dancing and rhythm and things like music. And so this is just another prime example of your culture trying to be hip, cool, relevant, and you struggle to do so. What's sad is that dance was passed on to your parents, and then your parents pass it on to you, and then you pass it on to your kids. And so it's a generation of just rhythmless, seasonless, mediocre Caucasian Americans attempting to dance. Look how difficult that was. And not only was it difficult for you guys, you had a guy in a dirty ass blazer and tacky ass khakis describing the dance moves. The funky isolation. The funky isolation. Think about that word. Think about that term. Funky isolation.
Do you know
how
tough that
stupid do
guy's
you
life was, man?
sound?
That's so.
And
you're gonna
I
attack
just,
him?
I'm not attacking him. I just think that that is an example of where white America is today. You guys haven't changed. You continue to do those same dumbass moves at weddings. I've seen it. I was at a wedding literally 3 weeks ago, and I saw those moves on display. And I want better for you guys. I want this to be. I want you to do better. And that video is an example of not doing better. So pass that around to your cookouts this summer. Email that to your grandmother so she can email it to her friends. Post this on the Friends of WAL page and let all of our white brothers and sisters know that we're here to support them, but those kind of moves will no longer be tolerated.
All right, that was embarrassing. I knocked 100 points off.
Jesus, that's brutal. I see. If you're gonna dip into the 80s for this, it's gonna get nasty. It's gonna get bad.
That's fine. That's fair.
Yeah. I will.
No,
There's a whole
those
website
dance
of
moves
silly things
reminded
black
me
people
of
have done on World
Tommy's
Star.
routine. That website, those dance moves remind me of Tommy's jokes. Like none of them landed, none of them had any rhythm. They completely lacked self-awareness. It was exactly Tommy's stand-up. In fact, let's call that video Tommy's stand-up. That's how bad it was.
I'm gonna turn off Tommy's headphones.
9:04, which means break's coming up soon. See you guys later.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. Oh, he's gonna go cry. Oh, is he crying?
When
Is
did
he
Travis
leaving?
become
Oh,
such a
baby.
show killer?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Oh.
What do we? So what do we have for the Great American Race other than the travesty of you dropping 100 points off me?
Well, I did drop 100 points off you, but I'm going to add a few more points to you, Chris. Sorry, I did that for Travis.
I'm back to 800.
Because Travis is being such an asshole.
Oh,
today,
wow.
so.
Tommy's redeemed. I like that. I'm
Hey,
very happy with
you
that.
be a motherfucker, you get it back, motherfucker.
Well, there
Fair.
we have it. So that's where we sit. We'll get back to the Great American Race next week.
I'll take 10 more points out just because that video was really bad. It was really bad.
It hurts too because that dude who was narrating it 1,000,000% like was still his mom was still holding out that he was bringing a wife home
I thought
at
it
a
was-
certain point, and he just had to keep being like, I'm a bachelor, mom.
I thought
Like,
it was
that guy
like-
was definitely.
Blake Carrington from the television show Dynasty at first when I first
I've never seen
I
it,
used
but
to watch that with my mother.
That's amazing. We will take a break. Big thanks to Tech Electronics for all the wonderful equipment we have in the studio. Be sure to use them if you need fire alarms, any kind of tech needs in the St. Louis area. Make sure to hit up Tech Electronics. They do so much more than just provide great studio equipment. You can check them out online, techelectronics.com. Quick break here at Midcoast Studio. We'll be right back.